Do you know what is common between government pension obligations and valuation of a business? You can answer both of these questions with one spreadsheet function. Here is how. Imagine receiving a pension for the next 20 years of $40,000 each year. Alternatively, you can think of a coffee shop or a bakery business that will deliver you $40,000 in income for the next 20 years. In both scenarios, the standard question is, how much are you willing to pay for such an income stream today? In other words, what is the fair price for the coffee shop business or government pension obligations? It is incredibly simple to find the answer, but first, you must change the question to understand it. Here is the alternative and equivalent question. How much must you deposit into a bank to replicate the business income stream through term deposit payouts? Let's guess. The total cash payout from our coffee business over the next 20 years is $800,000. Let's try that amount. Assume the term deposit rate is 4% and deposit $800,000 in year 1. The interest on such a deposit is $32,000. To replicate the $40,000 income in year 1, we must withdraw an additional $8,000. The following year, the deposit is lower by $8,000 withdrawn in year 1, hence the interest is lower too, at $31,700. So, in year 2, you must withdraw a larger amount to replicate the $40,000 income. Continue this process for the next 20 years, and you will see that you have replicated the $40,000 income stream. You also have left over $562,000 in the term deposit by the end of year 20. Clearly, $800,000 is too much for a coffee shop, projected to generate $40,000 a year for the next 20 years. Let's play around with our term deposit model. How about $600,000? This time, after 20 years, the model shows a leftover of almost $124,000. Again, paying $600,000 for such a coffee business is too much. How about $500,000? Now, we have a negative balance of $96,000. The $500,000 price tag is too little for our coffee shop. So far, we have discovered that the fair value is between $500,000 and $600,000. Let's keep trying to narrow our estimate. The model says that $550,000 is too much, and $540,000 is too little. Furthermore, it says that $545,000 is too much, but it is getting close. Finally, the model computes that $542,000 is too little, and $544,000 is too much, but super close. Our try and error model tells us that the fair value of the coffee shop is about $544,000. Can we find the $544,000 number without a try and error exercise? Yes, we can. Is there a short formula that delivers such a value? Yes, there is. It is called NPV, or the net present value of the future cash flows. The NPV function gives the exact value you must deposit to replicate future cash flows. In our example, the NPV of the 20 years $40,000 a year income stream, with 4% interest rate, equals $543,600. It is the value that gives the zero balance in our term deposit model and the exact fair value for the coffee shop projecting to deliver $40,000 for the next 20 years. You can guess from our model that the valuation depends on the interest rate. Indeed it does. If the rate goes up to 8%, the initial deposit of $544,000 is clearly too much, as we see a significant leftover of $703,000 after 20 years. The true and fair NPV value is significantly lower, at $393,000. On the other hand, if the interest rate drops to 2%, the fair value of our cash flows jumps to $654,000. Our experience with this simple model shows the effect of interest rates on the present value of future cash flows. It reflects the common wisdom that the $40,000 in 20 years do not represent the same value as the $40,000 today. If you want to learn more about the meaning and interpretation of the NPV function, or if you want to see the exact formula that computes the NPV value, the internet has an abundance of resources. Here we showed the practical application of the future cash flow model and how you can understand it using term deposits. If you like our content, subscribe to our channel for more practical investment and finance advice.